Welcome back to the WHHI-TV Daily News. Joining me now is Mayor Alan Perry. And Mayor, we had a little bit of excitement last week, kind of your first big test with the storm. Thankfully, it ended up being nothing, really. But let's talk a little bit about how you prepared for that and how the community reacted and what you want to see going forward.
Yeah, so, I haven't been here for a long time. It wasn't my first storm.
Sure.
So, but obviously it was my first storm as mayor.
Right.
But, for me, I got things ready at home, had my flashlights out, my batteries, I had water, and all that since there was no evacuation. But, running it from a mayor standpoint was a lot different. And
sure.
to see behind the scenes what really goes into preparing and executing everything that the emergency management committee does and crew does, the first responders, everything behind the scenes was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's interesting about this one, and maybe this is a really good lesson for all of us, it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, we're used to having a week or more to kind of get our bearings and are we going to evacuate? Are we going to be, making sure that we're prepared? This one kind of popped up a lot faster than we're used to.
It sure did. And it became, wasn't a storm, wasn't much, and then it did, and then
Right.
it became a Cat 4 before it hit Florida.
Right.
It's a good lesson for us not to take every storm the same. You know what? It's coming, be prepared for it. This one did a couple things that made some differences to us. One, it sped up when it hit land. Two, there was a dry spot on the eastern side of the storm, so we didn't get that rain. And then all of a sudden, the wind didn't really hit us like it expected, and went further north, and we feel bad for everybody up there, but you never know what these storms are going to do.
Right, right. And this one seemed to be particularly unpredictable. And as we, look at the maps and so forth, and we hope Lee is just going to go on his merry way and not come to us, but what are some of the things we've got to stay vigilant, we've got to stay prepared, because we're really now kind of in the heart of the season, if you will.
Yes, and we know that the waters are warm.
Yes.
And any storm that comes around is going to gain strength. Which way it goes, we don't know. But make sure you have your preparedness, your emergency plan prepared and ready to go. Have your water, have your batteries, have your non-perishable foods, have your insurance papers. Have all these things, and have your plan of escape prepared.
Right.
I stayed during Hurricane Matthew, and I have told people that with young kids, go. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You don't need to be here because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Had this storm stayed on the same path level that it was on, it would have been a combination of Hurricane Matthew with the wind damage that we received, and also Irma with the water damage we received. So
Right.
It would have been a double hit.
Double whammy, yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. Every storm's different, but you
Right.
got to prepare for the worst.
Right. And if we don't evacuate, I think you mentioned this in the news conference that you did, stay home.
Right, you get off the roads.
Yeah.
Stay home. Don't try to go out and enjoy a happy hour somewhere else. And go home. Take care of yourself.
Right.
That way you can take care of your loved ones and maybe somebody else if you need to.
Yeah.
And just be prepared.
Yeah. Well, we've got about a minute left, but
Yeah.
I know we want to talk about, because every time you've been here, it seems like we've got some new land that we're doing things with, that we're preserving for the island, and that's today is no different. We're going to talk a little bit about Wild Wings. I know it happened a little
Right.
while ago,
It
but
did.
we haven't talked about it yet.
No, we haven't, but it's a really pivotal piece of property, and what could have gone there really could have been devastating and created more traffic in that area.
Yeah.
Caligny has some really dense zoning.
Sure.
So it could have been, some more timeshares. It could have been an office building. It could have been a lot of different things. It could have been a fast food restaurant. But the town acquired it, is acquiring it. We haven't closed on it yet. For the purpose of probably beach parking. Council will have to decide on that, but that's kind of the thought process. We're not going to build anything there. The building will come down and just give us more access to the beach and to that whole celebration park.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a good plan to me. Thank you so much, as always, for being here, and thanks for keeping us informed and ready for this season.
Well, I tell you, going forward, communication was key during
Yes.
this last storm.
Yes.
And we want to make certain that we're putting out exactly what's going on and what's happening when we find out and how we know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you're going to the town website so you're all signed up for all of those
Yep.
alerts.
And social media
And
pages.
social media. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Mayor.
Thank you.
And we'll be back. Stay with us.